Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're diving into what is arguably the most urgent topic in enterprise tech right now, securing autonomous agentic AI. We're way past those simple chatbots. We're in an era where AI agents are out there acting on our behalf, making actual decisions, and running complex multi-step processes. But with great autonomy comes, well, the absolute necessity for an ironclad safety net. So, how exactly do we secure these invisible digital workers? Let's get into it.
It's literally the question keeping enterprise security teams up at night. What actually happens when your AI just stops following the rules? We're not talking about a generative AI giving a slightly wacky answer anymore. We're talking about autonomous systems with keys to your enterprise environment, running live tasks. When those systems go rogue or even just drift slightly off script, the stakes, they're incredibly high.
Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the 5 essential layers of a true defense in-depth AI safety net. First up, the threat of task drift. Number 2, visibility and agent identity. Third, defending against AI threats. Fourth, protecting sensitive enterprise data. And finally, number 5, mastering AI compliance.
All right, Section 1, the threat of task drift. Let's look at understanding these AI risks.
So task drift. It happens when AI agents start taking actions completely outside the specific tasks they were originally meant to handle. It sounds simple enough, right? But think about the sheer scale for a second. You aren't just running one agent. Your enterprise could be running hundreds, maybe literally thousands of these agents simultaneously. Ensuring task adherence is absolutely crucial because, let's face it, when an agent built to just summarize public PR documents suddenly decides to start querying your internal HR databases, yeah, you've got a massive problem on your hands. And that brings us to what we call the trifecta of task drift risk. Look at this. Even a tiny, seemingly harmless drift triggers 3 massive enterprise headaches: security risks, compliance risks, and reliability risks. It's a security risk because, well, the agent might be accessing things it definitely shouldn't. It's a compliance risk because it might completely bypass your data handling regulations. And a reliability risk because your automated business processes are no longer doing what you engineered them to do. It's like a butterfly effect that can compromise the whole shebang. Moving on to Section 2, visibility and agent identity. Tracking your AI agents.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the origin problem. You see, agents are springing up from multiple sources all across the enterprise. On one side, you've got your pro developers, right? Hard at work building sophisticated custom agents inside Azure AI Foundry. But on the flip side, you have everyday information workers, non-developers, spinning up their own localized agents using Copilot Studio. Because these things are coming from literally everywhere, unified tracking becomes a major challenge. How do you even inventory all of these?
Well, this is exactly where Microsoft Entra Agent ID steps in. Think of this using an employee analogy. When you hire a new human employee, what is the very first thing you do? You hand them an ID badge, you set up their directory profile, and you clearly define their access, right? Well, AI agents need the exact same treatment. The Entra Agent ID application gives you a quick, centralized way to inventory every single agent identity found within your directory. It really doesn't matter if it was built by a senior dev in Foundry or a marketing manager in Copilot Studio, they all get a badge. This ensures their behavior is actually tracked and perfectly aligned with their intended tasks.
All right, Section 3, defending against AI threats. Let's talk about active defense layers.
Securing an agent isn't just a set-it-and-forget-it kind of deal. It's a very active, step-by-step process. First up, you have to discover the risks. And that is where Defender for Cloud AI Security Posture Management, or SPM, comes into play, giving you that essential baseline visibility into your vulnerabilities. Then, step 2 is red teaming over in Azure AI Foundry. This is the fun part, where you actively simulate attacks and push the agent to its absolute limits in a safe environment, just to see exactly where it breaks. And finally, step 3 is the live defense. You use tools like Defender for Cloud and Defender XDR, that's extended detection and response, to actively defend against and block AI threats in real time. But, you also need strict rules of conduct for how the AI processes inputs. This is where Azure AI Content Safety and prompt shields integrate directly with Defender to ensure you have complete attack visibility. Think of prompt shields as a really strict bouncer for your AI. It prevents malicious inputs like prompt injections or spotlighting, which, if you aren't familiar, is where an attacker tries to trick the AI into ignoring its original instructions and executing a malicious command instead. By wiring this directly into Defender, your Security Operations Center gets to see absolutely everything. Next up, Section 4. Protecting sensitive enterprise data.
Securing AI access.
So the crucial point to take away here is that Purview and AI Foundry work hand in hand, giving organizations clear visibility and control over sensitive data. You absolutely cannot treat AI development and data security as siloed operations anymore. It just doesn't work. They have to be constantly talking to each other.
Let's walk through how this defense actually works in practice. First off, Purview Data Security Posture Management discovers the data risks. It basically figures out where your sensitive data actually lives. Next, Information Protection and Data Loss Prevention, DLP, step in to classify that data and set up rules to prevent it from leaking out. Finally, Purview Insider Risk Management combined with Entry Conditional Access watches closely for any anomalies. So, if an agent or even a user interacting with an agent suddenly decides to try and download a massive classified dataset, boom! This system catches that risky behavior and blocks the data loss instantly, step by step.
And finally, Section 5, Mastering AI Compliance, meeting those requirements.
Let's move to this timeline and see how compliance builds across the entire life cycle of an AI agent. Because compliance isn't just some sticker you slap on at the end, right? It has to be baked in continuously. During the build phase, you're setting up your guardrails. Then, in the evaluations phase, you bring in your red team to test those rails. The admin phase focuses heavily on managing the actual users and their access levels. And lastly, in the operate phase, well, that's where your ongoing compliance monitoring lives. Every single stage has its own dedicated oversight mechanism.
As your agents start operating out there in the real world, you are guaranteed to face strict regulatory scrutiny, for sure. To streamline all that adherence and reporting, you've got a very specific toolkit at your disposal. Using Purview Compliance Manager, Audit, eDiscovery, and the Defender Regulatory Compliance Dashboard allows you to clearly prove to auditors that your agents are behaving themselves. It ensures you are continuously meeting those incredibly complex data privacy and sovereignty requirements, literally no matter what your agents are tasked with doing.
And that brings us to the ultimate million-dollar question. Are your AI agents drifting, or are they actually driving your business forward? Without a comprehensive safety net that covers identity, threat protection, data security, and compliance, autonomous agents are, honestly, a massive liability. But with these integrated defenses firmly in place, you can confidently let them take the wheel and drive the business. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I highly recommend taking a hard, honest look at your own enterprise AI environment today.